The CS2 Blast Austin Major was a truly amazing experience, and honestly for me, one of the best vacations I could have ever taken. But first, let's start at the beginning. Thursday, June 19th, 2025, the first day of the Blast Austin playoffs. But for me, my wonderful girlfriend, she made me say that, and my good friend Hanky Spanky.
Man, it's crazy when I asked don't plan, you plan.
I was already playing and then I stopped.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
We would all be waking up and getting on an airplane to fly halfway across the country to see the first major in the USA since the 2018 Boston Major. We would all land in Austin by 11:30, and let me tell you, I was feeling great at this point. I was in a state that I've never been to, and I was also in a city that I've never seen. Which in all reality, I'm gonna be honest, Austin's a pretty small city, but it is still a sight to be seen, I guess. I don't know. Liberal city of Texas, what do you expect? After trying to make our way to the Moody Center, the next mission of this whole adventure was just trying to find some parking. God damn it, bro, they made it so hard. I don't know why. But after we found parking, the real hero came out. The Lime Scooters, babe. Let's go. Now, after getting on the Lime Scooters, getting a little bit of lunch, and making our way to the Moody Center, I'm gonna be honest, the Moody Center was actually kind of nice. A very new building, it looks like, right on the college campus. I'm not gonna lie. Very nice place to be. Now, the first mistake we made by going to the Moody Center, we didn't go to any of the booths or anything, or like play around with anything. We just kind of went right to our seats. We learned later that was a terrible idea, but it's beyond the point for right now. We started watching the Spirit game, which was a very nice game, Spirit versus Mouse. Spirit went down, womp womp, sad to see. But after that game, we had to make our way to the Airbnb to check in, which is when the first problem arrived. You see, as we were leaving the center, we were told we can't come back in after we leave, which makes absolutely no sense. You're at a Counter-Strike event. Everyone knows there's like a gap between like games, like matches. Yeah, they seem to have no idea. So Rip Furia versus Pain, I guess that game we have to absolutely miss. Now, after missing the Pain versus Furia game, GG Furia, we actually decided to get some Korean barbecue instead, because why not? I just got off the airplane in the morning, my head was pounding. Let's get some dinner, was my whole mindset at least. And let me tell you, that shit was 10 out of 10, bro. God damn. And that would basically conclude the first day of the major. Now, the second day of the major is where stuff really starts happening, let me tell you. First thing first is I woke up in the morning with a very bright idea of opening some cases. Now, I was going to do this at the event, but there is a rule for the Moody Center where you cannot bring laptops in or anything. So that was dead in the water. And instead of actually using 2 of my brain cells to just take the laptop down to the center and just open them outside while people were waiting, I just decided to open them in the Airbnb. But oh, let me tell you, those 40 cases, they came with a flair, alright. Here's just some of the clips of those 40 cases real quick. Yeah, that's a minimal wear ultraviolet nomad knife. That's a $320 knife at the least. And yeah, both of those print streams were open within like 4 cases. There's like 2 cases in between those print streams. It's pretty insane. So I somehow got 3 pinks, 2 reds, and 1 gold in 40 cases, which is just absolutely insane luck. I should have taken it to like outside of the arena and just opened it for the people standing outside, because that would have went crazy. But now there's a key detail I left out from the first day. You see, in the US, you can buy like THC gummies at the vape stores all over the place, but they're usually really weak. But regardless, I was like, fuck it, you know what? We're on vacation. Let's have a little fun, you know? Not really expecting much of the gummies. I thought they were gonna do nothing. But I bought a whole tin of gummies from a vape store, basically, and we went to the major. Took 2 each, and let me tell you, I could not move out of my seat. I sat there for the full 2 games that day, like 2 matches, just sitting in my seat. I was completely gone. It was amazing. My girlfriend didn't take any, because she's a... Yeah, but basically all I remember from the second day is opening a gold, 2 reds, and then just getting completely obliterated off of vape store gummies. What a great time, and that was a great day. Let me tell you, it was a great day. Really feeling the vibe in Austin at this point. Because as we move into Saturday, Saturday was a whole Austin adventure day, actually. It was my girlfriend's 25th birthday, and there was just something in the air that day. It felt great. I was feeling good. The crowd was hyping me up from the day before. Everything about it was just amazing. The whole event so far had to have been a 10 out of 10. Other than the first day when they said you couldn't come back in. But luckily, Blast at this point actually fixed that rule set. So instead of leaving and not being allowed back in, you were allowed to leave the venue, but you had to be back by the second game, which makes complete sense. That's where I was completely lost the first day. Why wouldn't we be allowed to come back for the second game? But Blast was able to fix that with them, and that's a big thumbs up right there to you, Blast TV. We fuck with you for that. But either way, Saturday was a great day for the Major. We watched Pain Gaming get absolutely bent over by the Mongols. Very nice. The Vitality versus Mouse game was actually a great matchup. It wasn't just like a 0-2 blast out. So we got at least a good matchup. And all in all, it was just pretty good. So after the event, we just went out and celebrated my girlfriend's birthday. We went to this bridge. It's actually a very infamous bridge in Texas. The bridge, I call it the Bat Bridge. I'm not actually sure what it's called, but apparently there's a colony of like 1 million bats that live within the bridge. And when the sun goes down, all of them fly out at once. It's a very beautiful sight to behold. Now, if you ever find yourself in Austin, I do highly recommend going to the bridge and checking it out, as it is kind of a spectacle. I'm not gonna lie. I saw a lot of people from the Major also standing there watching it. So yeah, it was a very beautiful sight. After we saw that, we just kind of looked up at the skyline of the city. It was very beautiful. I remember just screaming, "We in the city, boys!" To which my girlfriend made me go to a high-end Mexican restaurant. Word of advice for anyone: if it's a high-end Mexican restaurant, just throw your money into a blender, because it's probably not gonna be as good as you think. Either way, it was her birthday and she loved it, so it made it all worth it, which would lead us into the final day of the Major. The energy was insane. Everybody was cheering for the Mongols to win. And if you watched the first game of the finals, you probably would have thought that it was going to go that way. But oh no, no, no. Fate has its own depiction. Because as you could see, Mongols would proceed to get bent over a barrel and fucked repeatedly by Vitality after that. Honestly, it just looked like the Mongols could not handle all that pressure, to be honest. Especially with the crowd cheering for them. I don't know, they just fell apart though. It was sad to watch. But all I know is that concluded an event and an opportunity for us NA people that seems to only come 7 years or so. And I was very happy to be a part of this event. And I'm even happier to have opened a brand new Nomad knife too. I love the Nomad knife, let me tell you. And it really just concluded the whole trip. We watched the final, we just kind of relaxed and enjoyed the last night of Texas. I think we got some barbecue that night. Very good. In conclusion, this had to be one of the best vacations I've ever taken, and I'm glad I was able to do it. I remember the day those tickets went on sale. I was in the pre-sale, actually. I got it in the pre-sale before everything really sold out. Now, the seats weren't too great, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I wish I was on the floor or down there, but honestly, I enjoyed where we were at. It was a 10 out of 10 experience, very solid, and I'd 100% do it again. The only bad thing is I got completely sick as hell on the last day. I remember sitting in the airport, just not even really able to move. I was really sick. My head was pounding. But you know, as we were sitting in that airport, one thing did happen. My girlfriend decided to open some cases in the airport. And this is what happened on the last case. See, now that's what I'm talking about. Rust Coat Gang on top, #1. And it really just concluded probably one of the best vacations ever. We flew back home. I felt like I was dying in a 3-hour flight. All in all, I would say it was 100% worth it, though. Ooh, please Counter-Strike, give us another North American Major, golly. And this will conclude my schizo rambling to myself, as no one will ever probably watch this video but me again in a couple of years to reminisce on one of the better vacations I've ever taken. Thanks to anyone else that watched, I appreciate you. And at the end of the day, you got to experience yourself a Major if you're a Counter-Strike fan. I'm telling you, it's 100% worth it. Have a good one.